The whispers in the morning.
It's exciting, sometimes romantic, and always informational. It's Love Stories on Fit FM 96.7, Thursdays 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join me, Queen G, for cutting edge conversations and advice about love and relationships to spice up your love life. Love Stories, building healthy relationships. Don't miss it.
'Cause I am your lady.
Hi there. I'm Carlene. Invite
Hi.
you to join me every Sunday on Fit FM 96.7 for We Lickle But with Talawa, a program highlighting Jamaicans who are making significant contributions abroad and their impact on our communities. That's We Lickle But with Talawa every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. with a repeat on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
It's your girl Clover J. Join me weekday morning, 7 to 11, inside Morning Connection, the spot that is jam-packed with features, information, and fun can't done. Come link up, play, and groove to the best music on the planet, right here on Fit FM 96.7. Trelawny's Radio, your life, your music.
Are you struggling with loneliness? Feeling depressed? Are you searching for a purpose to live? Are you ready to tap into your inner greatness? Ready to soar to your full potential? Come and be inspired. Join me, Dr. Asha Mwendo, on Healing Moment inside Gospel and Soul every Wednesday, 6 p.m., where we will help you to understand your purpose. We will help you to find your wind. We'll show you how to open your wings and fly. Healing Moments, Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
This is Fit FM 96.7. Till country morning.
Good evening, my people. How are you this evening? What an awesome time to be alive. I don't know about you where you are, but where I live, we're having rains. And we are not complaining because the ground is happy, the plants are dancing, and you don't want to hear the birds, how happy they are. And so am I. So I want to big up DJ Snow for bigging me up. It's always good to listen to you before I come on. You set the grooving moving into my motion every evening, and I love that. So this week, I am your girl, Dr. Asha Mwendo, and this is Healing Moments on Fit FM 96.7, brought to you by Wellness in Motion. And guess what? We have another awesome evening lineup for you. My guest is already on, so if you go over to Facebook, you'll see my beautiful guest. Okay, I'll tell you more about her in a little bit. So we want you to be a part of our conversation. So remember now, you can call us or WhatsApp us on 876-317-1991. Or just WhatsApp us on 876-482-4944. We want you to be a part of the conversation. And every time we go on, we say, Healing Moments, stand with the call for elimination of violence against our women and our girls. This evening, my guest will be Tanya Abreu. Well, my guest is because she's already on and she's looking beautiful with her smile and all of that. And they said what you have been through, you don't always look it. She looks so awesome. She don't look like nothing that she has been through. And so this evening, we're going to be talking about, resilience in everyday life. So you know the drill, right? You're going to get your pen, get your sip, tell a friend, come right back after this piece of music.
every day. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, baby, I love your way every day. Shadows grow so long before my eyes, and they're moving across the page. Suddenly the day turns into night, far away from the city. But don't, oh no, hesitate, 'cause your love just won't wait. Hey, yeah, yeah. Ooh, baby, I love your way every day. Yeah, yeah. I wanna tell you I love your way every day. Yeah, yeah. I wanna be with you night and day. The moon appears to shine and light the sky with the help of some fire.
Yes, baby, I love your ways. And that is Big Mountain music. You will hear a little bit later on why I love Big Mountain and who else loves Big Mountain, right? You're going to hear a little bit about that. But can I tell you, I'm extremely excited. This is the last Wednesday in June. And last year, the last Wednesday in June, Healing Moments hit radio on Fit FM 96.7. So this week is 1 year since Healing Moments is on Fit FM. Yay! We are on radio. And guess what? It's so nice to have an awesome guest to celebrate with. It is awesome. Yes, so Healing Moments on radio is 1 year old. And it's just the beginning of great things. And can I tell you how awesome God is? Because when I came on last year, June, the last Wednesday in June, it was supposed to be a monthly program. So it come once per month. My listeners would have none of it. And so here I am coming on every week, and God is so good. He has kept us on air up until now, and I feel real good. And I want to give another shout out. Yay! Awesome, So Healing Moments in 1 year old. Guess what? We are, and we're not limping like how some little baby toddlers carrying on, We're walking really strong. So God is awesome. Yeah, man. And so I feel so good. I'm excited. And everything is just making me feeling so good today. And it is awesome when we are alive and we can celebrate our milestones and we know how to give thanks. I hope wherever you are, whatever you are going through today, you can find something in your bosom to say thanks for, because we serve a mighty, awesome, big God who takes care of us all the time. Yeah. Enough of my celebrating. I don't know if I'm going to stop anytime soon anyway, but we know the entertainment industry is now opening up come tomorrow or midnight tonight by some people. By my plan, come sunset. Because my day starts sunset. Sunset to sunset is my day. But the rest of you're going to catch up around midnight tonight. And so July 1 will step in. And a lot of changes will happen to our COVID and regulations and all of that. And I hear everybody becoming so fearful, and we're talking about the entertainment industry is going to be blamed for the spike that is going to come. So hear me now. If you know that the possibility of a spike exists if you disobey the regulations, and the entertainment industry will be blamed and shut down again, and you want it to be kept open, you want your kids to go to school come September, what are you going to do about it? Be responsible. Follow the regulations. You got the power in your hands. Use it. Don't blame the system. Make the system work for you. And for me, it is so funny in that the very people who was complaining and quarreling that we need the entertainment system to open because people need to eat, now it is open, start to say it's going to be blamed for the fallout. Your responsibility is to ensure there's no fallout. So therefore, you could say, see there, you could have opened it long time because we go on and walk good and we behave ourselves and we obey. What about that? So let's get, responsible, be temperate in all things, as they would say. And yes, Let me remind you, curfew starts 11 o'clock. That means you can't be heading home at 11 o'clock. So you have to come out of the dance hall from 10, depending on where you live, 10:30. They can push it a little. That you don't have to be speeding and carrying on because we want you to be safe. You want to meet the Emancipation and Independence holiday that's coming up, right? So let's keep it good. So I am so excited. You notice how my Let Us Talk this evening is short because I'm excited to bring my guest into the conversation, right? So I have an awesome guest with me this evening. I'm not going to tell you a lot about her. I'm going to let her tell her own story and tell her own truth better than I can. So I told you before, her name is Tanya Abreu, and she have another name on Facebook. She can't tell you about that. That's not my business. She is many things, depending on who you ask and who you talk with. But I say she's an awesome because she loves the health business, music, and she is a survivor. So she love health. We love health. And you know that already. Healing moments. Come on. It's a match made in heaven. And I love music. You see me dancing every week. I love music. Not because I can't sing. Don't worry about it. I can rock and I can move my feet. So I'm good. And my heart and my blood move to every rhythm. So this evening, she's going to tell us her story in her own way. So I said, Tanya, good evening. How are you?
I am always mesmerized watching you. You give so much love and so much energy to every sister and to everybody listening. I love you. And to meet you this trip to Jamaica was the highlight, Dr. Mwendo, the highlight.
I can tell, and can I tell the people that you made sure you organized your trip in such a way that you could be in Jamaica when we talk? This is, and people wouldn't know how much effort you're putting to be on Healing Moments this evening. So I got to give you accolades. I know you wanted to be in studio. The system failed us and everything didn't work right. But girl, I am excited to have you on this evening.
I'm in another studio. I'm at Anchor in Kingston. I'm outside, the most quiet place there is in the entire studio.
Amen. And I like that studio. I came to visit and I like it. Right? It's awesome.
People, yes.
Yes, it is really awesome. So who is Tanya?
It's lovely that you said I'm a survivor. I think once we're born out of our mother's womb, it's about survival. I can't imagine what that first breath is like, right? You're in this wonderful, beautiful, floating, magical environment for 9 months. And then wham, someone smacks you on the behind and you have to breathe on your own. And I think every moment from there is survival. I think our biggest mistake is to imagine that life should be wonderful just all the time. That is, people ask me, well, how did you get through? And I could rattle off all kinds of stuff, right? 4-stage cancer, sexual abuse as a child, domestic violence, I can get down with the best of the complainers about life.
Yes.
But I know this, that after every episode, the good God smacked my butt and said, take another breath and get out there and walk. Because you are here as testimony to what it means to be fit. Now, I don't mean athletic fit. I've got a good 30 pounds that I could lose. But I'm fit in body, fit in spirit, and fit in mind, emotion. Yeah. And I have a PhD. I didn't finish my dissertation, but my PhD was in communication.
Yes.
I believe that words, writing, singing, talking is the way to help people experience health. And all health is the ability to feel joy every day, regardless of the pain, whether it's physical, emotional, regardless of the circumstance, to look around and find something to be grateful for. And it is that moment that you find something, even in the rubble that just happened in Miami.
Yes.
In the moment that you find something that says, there's still joy left in the world, God has a purpose for this, and God has a purpose for me, and I cannot give up, just cannot.
Mhm.
So that's resilience for me, and that's what health is. Never truly giving up. I mean, some days I give up. After the fiasco trying to get a COVID test today, I gave I booked a room at the Pegasus so that I could get a cheap $50 COVID test that would guarantee that I'd get back to my life in Florida tomorrow. And
Ma-
then I said, why am I suffering so? I am putting on a bathing suit and I'm going to sit by the pool and pretend that I'm in Beverly Hills and I don't have a care in the world. And I
Yes.
did. I did with a girlfriend for a couple hours. And it just changed my being from being complaining and unhappy and hot and complaining into,
Mhm.
oh, I'm here for an amazing reason with
Yeah.
amazing people. And I get to talk to Asha in just a couple of hours.
Yes. 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 And that is what life is all about. So, Tanya, tell us where you're originally from. Because I know you're from many places, including Jamaica here. But we'll get to that. Where are you originally from?
Originally from a steel town, an industrial town, kind of like the bauxite towns around here,
Mm.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Both
Okay.
of my parents were immigrants. I was not, obviously, I was born in the United States, but I was born, raised with what I call an immigrant mentality, which is to appreciate those that you came from and to
Yes.
realize that not everything around you was right, and that as an immigrant you came to change. And I was raised by parents who were not educated, and the only thing they wanted from me was for me to not get married and get pregnant young, and to get as much education as I could so that I could make the world a better place. And they were really, they were working class, serious people. My mother was from southern Italy, and my
Mhm.
father was an interesting blend of Georgian, Armenian, Mediterranean people,
Okay.
and some Russian. And it was all good, hot blood, Mediterranean blood.
Yes.
Um, Always different than our, and I am I allowed to say WASP? Is that politically correct? We were raised
Yes.
in a European neighborhood, and we were very different, ate different, looked different, but it was all good. So that's where I'm from, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Steel Town.
Okay. And I can just imagine that that was all about. So now we have Tanya, and we're going to go through the different things you have been through. But I want to get something out of the way. You have a special love for the Caribbean. I know you lived in Jamaica, so you're going to tell us about that. And when we were together on Saturday, you talk a lot about Haiti. So you're going to tell me what your love is with the Caribbean girl. Come on, tell me why the Caribbean country have you so going.
It's not just the men, but
And there I was thinking it was the men.
no, I'll tell you a story about Haiti because I've been involved with Haiti before the earthquake and a lot after, and I have
Mhm,
land and building a home in Haiti. But
mhm.
I was first introduced to Jamaica just on a cruise. I was a young
Yeah.
kid. I was still in college, and I came, and I just the earth felt different. That
Okay.
woo woo, but the earth felt different. I didn't understand anything that the people said. My very first concert in the whole world was Bob Marley's last concert in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh,
Loved
wait.
reggae, but not like that. But was really taken by Jamaican culture and went through a very, very bad time. A very bad time, where I lost someone close to me to death, and decided to take a vacation here. And I
Mhm.
did. I was working at that time at a hospital in an international program in women's health that we ran all around the world. But
Yes.
I started coming here. And then before you know it, as I like to talk to various people, when I would go home, I started talking to other people, and they were all in the music business, right? Everybody in
Mhm.
Jamaica seems to be in the music business. And so I'm in marketing, I'm in publicity. And so I started helping. And
Mhm.
before you know it, I started working with some pretty major names in the industry and with the
Yes.
promoters and with the managers. And I did that concurrent to my women's health education and planning for hospitals.
Yes.
At the time, I was, an executive at a hospital in the United States and spent a lot of time abroad, some in
Mhm.
West Africa, some in other places, working on women's health
Mhm.
and always coming here for music. Then I got this opportunity from a brilliant contract with the U.S. government with the Jamaican Family Planning Association.
Mm-hmm.
Come down here. It was during Beanie Man's heyday that I remember. We needed to get some dance hall kings to agree to talk about protection from AIDS.
Yes.
And so I worked here on some campaigns. And I will tell you, Asha, I fell in love with the women.
Yes.
I fell in love with this resilience. And they reminded me of my grandmother, who I lost during that time. A woman who did not see race. She just saw oppressive people and habits.
Mm-hmm.
And she would force me to do things that I was afraid of, because she said, all the good in the world comes from doing the things that you're afraid of.
Yes.
And I have a story, and it might be a little bit race sensitive, but back in the day when I was growing up in the 70s, all garbage men were Black in the United States. You would very rarely find anybody dealing in sanitation. And in my grandmother's neighborhood, it was all Italian, white, Irish. And it was very hot and very horrible in the summers, humid. And everybody was afraid of these very different looking people that were the garbage men. And my grandmother would, every single Saturday when they came, would put a tray in my hand full of lemonade that she fresh squeezed in Tupperware. And she said, you walk yourself out there and you stop that truck and you give those men something cold to drink. And I'm like, well, they're not going to like me to do that. People are going to look at me funny. I can't do that. No, I just can't do that. And that woman, from the time I was about 6 years old and could manage a tray with 4 beverages, had me do that on the weekends that I spent with her. And it made me understand that life was about healing and helping, regardless of who it was, regardless of the fears around you. And when I came to Jamaica to work with the Jamaican Family Planning Association in St. Anne's Bay,
Yes.
those women embraced me and helped me see myself in a whole new light, helped me see relationships and family in a whole new light. I remember the one woman taught me, you can't choose your parents. You can't choose your sister and brother, but you can choose your family and who you trust. And I fell in love with the mission here. And I decided after I left the hospital that I would base my wellness business out of Montego Bay, and lived
Yes.
there for nearly 8 years, traveling back and forth to U.S. hospitals, and had a little Cuban restaurant because I had Cuban friends, and that was a niche, and just loved the country and the people and my friends, who are many still here.
Yes.
So I would have to say that it's the women's spirit that brought me here, and the sense of life is beautiful in the female embrace. Does that make sense to you at all, Asha?
Makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense. When women's hearts beat together as one, we lift each other to higher heights. We help each other to see beyond the horizon. So when our hearts beat together and you felt that rhythm of the African beating blood that embraces all and loves all, and that's what got you connected, girl.
That's their unity. Absolutely. And I spent a bit of time in West Africa and really fell in love with the belief that God exists in every bit of nature, that God exists in the food that you eat, in the friends that you surround yourself with. And so I saw a lot of that here, even the Rasta culture, which I was always interested uh,
Yes.
in the whole idea of purity and family and healthy food and healthy living. That really resonated with me. And it resonated from Southern Italy and from Armenian, Georgian cultures too, you know,
Yes.
and I realized that the best people in the world value nature and faith. If
Yes.
that,
True.
yeah. And at that time I was a lot younger, and I hadn't, American women I love now. I have my besties. They're all around me too. But as younger women, it was very competitive. And, I don't know whether it's American culture that causes women to be not kind to each other. And I know that a lot of young women in Jamaica or anywhere in the world are not kind to each other, as they believe men are some kind of resources worth fighting for. But I didn't find that so much, and I still don't find that so much. But I'm so glad. This is the first time back in Jamaica in a long time, partially because I left against my will. 9/11 happened. The
No.
tourist trade just bleh, and I couldn't
Mhm.
get the flights I needed to go back to my clients. So I had to move back to the US. And that was I just blocked out my happiness for a long time,
Mhm.
maybe until just recently.
And it's exciting. I have watched your journey, I've watched your ups, I've watched your downs, and even when you're telling yourself that you're giving up and you're not doing stuff, I have watched you fought back each time to make sure you're on the upside of life. Have watched you live through those little children you have around you. I have watched you live and make sure that others around you live. And it excites my spirit. It
Oh,
speaks
thank
to
you.
who I am also. And so my rhythmic blood reached out to your rhythmic blood and we connected as sisters should. And so we're going to talk a little bit more. Now we're going to go to some uncomfortable now before we come back to the comfortable. So we're going to go to the uncomfortable of you are a survivor of cancer. I am a survivor of cancer. I know what that can be, but yours was different. And so you're going to tell me a little bit about that journey.
Sure. Sure.
And I want to remind you, when we speak here on Healing Moments on Fit FM 96.7, you're not just talking to Jamaicans, you're talking to the world, girl. So let's speak some life into everybody.
Yes, a doctor looked at me, an oncologist looked at me and said, I had between 6 to 9 months to live because
Mm-hmm.
of cancer that would spread late stage to start really thinking about what I wanted to do and to start very radical treatment.
Mm-hmm.
I had been in healthcare for a long time before that happened, a good 15 years. And I said, oh, no, no, I know too many oncologists that would not embrace this. And I went home and I really prayed
Mm-hmm.
in a whole different way, not like, dear God, I want this, or dear God, I want that. I prayed to God to tell me if I was going to keep existing.
Yes.
Why? Like, what was my purpose? Why did I have to? Do I have to fight this, or is this my way out? And I had money. I've been through bankruptcy and millions and non-millions and climbing up and down. But I had money at the time, and I said, none of this money is anything. None of this is anything. And I spent a good bit of time finding ways to treat the cancer, just like you, Asha.
Yes.
Diet, intention,
Mm-hmm.
spiritual work,
Yes.
asking for purpose to cleanse the cancer from my body and to replace it with God's light and purpose for the rest of my life. And I will embrace that to the day I die. I went through a lot. I did some what they would call, kind of complementary things, vitamin C therapies, infusions, blood transfusion, some other things. I had tests to make sure that the cancer wasn't lymphatic, wasn't able to spread throughout my body. So then I began to treat it locally, treat it with lack of all hormones in my body, lack of all glucose, all sugar. I mean, there's everybody needs a different protocol that's
Yes.
cancer, but also, of course, herbs and things that
Mm-hmm.
cleanse the body. So I'm a big believer in antioxidants, in anti-inflammatories,
Mm-hmm.
in things that we hear about, and then just the old school roots that
Yes, man.
about. So cancer was difficult spiritually. I mean, I went through about a year and a half, went through the surgeries, went through the recovery. Um, I pretended to the whole world that I was doing okay. I lived a lot of it alone. The first battle. I would never do that again because one of the things I've learned about resilience is if you just close your eyes and you ask for help, it comes to you and you don't have to do it on your own. When
Yes.
you try to do it on your own, my friends, it gets heavier and heavier and darker and darker. And even
Mm-hmm.
You think there's not a single person to help you? Reach out to a stranger. Reach out to a
Yes.
stranger. I have people that I met on Facebook that in the past year of emotional upheaval, financial upheaval, because of course healthcare went belly up at a time that I
Mhm.
opened my own agency. So I had nada.
Mhm.
Strangers came to my side and lifted me up literally from the ground, saying, "Girl, you got this. You forget who you are. You forget what you reflect." So
Mhm.
believe in strangers. They're there for you.
Yes, yes, yes. It's so true. It is so true. And I've listened to your story. We have spoken. I have watched your story from afar. I come close. We talk. We pull away. We come back together again. But one thing, as you say right here, right now, I want my listeners to know there is always support. There's always help, and sometimes it comes from the most unlikely places. So don't keep looking in the same place. Sometimes the persons who you expect to support you don't know how. So they pull away, they are afraid. And a lot of times, especially with cancer, those closest to you are the ones who become afraid the most. They start to pull away because they're not sure you're going to die, and they don't want to invest their emotions and then get it all thrown out and broken. And so therefore you look in different places. So Tanya, before we continue, we're going to pay some attention to our people on Facebook, right? So I'm gonna see what I know. Thanks, Sandra. I got some big ups and some stuff from people. I hear Melcinda says, "Oh, she says I look beautiful this evening. Thank you,
You
Melcinda."
do.
Yes, don't I? Oh, yes, I do. And then we have Mr. Fitness, my favorite friend. He's always on. He's with us. We have a number of persons, but Melcinda said she passed through Pittsburgh from Danville. You would know what that is about. I have no clue what she's talking about. But she said she passed through Pittsburgh from Danville, so she have traveled your way before. Mr. Fitness says awesome. And then another friend of mine, another sister from studio, Jillian says, "Good evening, everyone. Love and light from Queen G." So that's for those who are on watching. And my friend Norman that you met on Saturday, he's on listening too.
Good. Hi, Norma.
Yeah, so he's on listening too. So we have some persons on. God is awesome. And we have Miss Shakira Paul just joining. So that's for Facebook. So yes, you journey through cancer. You are a survivor. Sandra Campbell says, proud of you, Lady Tanya. She put Lady T, but I know she means Lady Tanya. So she's very proud of you for how you have journeyed. And I am proud of you too. You know that. Right.
Sandra, hi. I love you.
Yeah, so that's another part of your journey. However, that's not all that embodies you. I hear you are in Jamaica with music, and when you were here, you were doing music. So tell us about this love for reggae and managing musicians and what that story is all about. Come to give us a little sauce, as they would say in Jamaica.
I believe everyone should have a personal mission. Everyone should have a personal mission. Why
Mm-hmm.
do you think God put you here? And I've worked on mine for a long time, and the one that I wake up to every day now is I want to make health ridiculously easy for other
Mm-hmm.
people to experience, because doctors, the US medical system, the Jamaican medical system, it doesn't make health easy, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
we look for health in all the wrong places. We look for health in smoke, we look for health in drink, we look for feeling good. We look in the wrong places. And one of the things I remember from very early is that even when I had cancer and I was taking a medication that shut down all my hormones so that I was sick, sick, sick to the core, if I would put on a song
Yeah.
and I would get my soul to dance,
Mm-hmm.
I came closer to health. I
Yes.
came closer to health. And so as this pandemic hit, and
Mm-hmm.
I am working on a couple of incredible projects. I really am. I'm working on a Black maternal health project in the United States to help Black and Brown women feel safer when they have babies. It's called Resilient Mom. And I'm working on a project for remote patient monitoring for all of us so that we don't have to go to the doctors. So we know what our numbers are and make it
Yeah.
inexpensive so that we can stay on top of our hearts and our blood pressure. And then, of course, I'm working on music again because, first of all, because it came to me after 25 years. A dear friend who knew me from Buju Banton and all kinds of days, way back, came to me and said, Tanya, remember our friendship, and I have a message to get to the world. And that was Keno McWhinney of Big Mountain. And he had his hits, his band, he and his brother, with Baby I Love Your Way. And he was at Sunsplash, headlined twice, and just a very amazing man of Mexican and European descent, but really raised in the Rasta tradition his entire life. And he called me and he said, I want to move beyond Big Mountain. The world is hurting. Tanya, you're all about health. How do we make music a part of healthcare? And Asha, that's all I heard. And my heart was like, ooh, baby, I love your way.
Yes.
I love that concept, right?
Yes.
So we're here with Delroy Fata Pottinger, the Grammy Award-winning producer at Anchor Studio. We're back in the studio making music that is going to make everyone feel healthier.
And I have been hearing some of those music when I was in the studio, and the world is going to be blown away with what is coming, I can tell you.
But it's medicine. Music is medicine. Whether it's the gospel we sing on Sunday in church, or whether it's the reggae in the dance hall, or the compa in the countryside of Haiti, or, Irish music in a bar. It's medicine to the soul. And when your soul is healthy, your body follows.
Yes. It says when the spirit is feeling good, it's good for the bones. Everything rocks together. And good, no matter the kind of medicine you are getting, if your spirit is down, your bones rot. You do not do well. You don't get well. And music tends to lift you to another level. And because we want to go on to that feeling, I want to share in a moment. So Julia is going to line up now, and we're going to play a little bit of the music again, let the people hear what we're talking about. Yeah. So we're going to play a little bit of the same one that we all love now. So we're going to play a little bit of it again. Just listen.
Ooh, baby, I love your way every day. Yeah. Ooh, baby, I love your way every day. Shadows grow so long before my eyes, and they're moving across the page. Suddenly the
Little Spit FM.
turns into night.
96.7.
Far
Duncan's still morning.
from the city, but don't, oh no, hesitate, 'cause your love just won't wait. Hey, yeah, yeah. Ooh, baby, I love your way every day. Yeah. I wanna tell you I love your way every day. Yeah.
Little Spit FM.
Fit FM 96.7.
96.7.
Duncan's Trelawney.
Duncan's still morning.
Ooh, you got a friend. Ain't it good to know? Yeah. You got a friend. When you're down and trouble, and you need a helping hand, and nothing is going right. Tell you what you do, baby. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even the darkest night.
This is Fit FM.
You just call out my name,
Duncan's still morning.
and you know wherever I am, I'll come running. Oh, yes, I will see you again. Oh, now, baby, winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is call, and I'll be there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got a friend.
This is Fit FM.
Tell you what,
96.7.
Duncan Streloni.
Duncan's still
Yes, yes, yes. That's big mountain music, guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You know, from Who Baby I Love Your Waist until you have a friend. What you're talking about, guys. Awesome music. And the bass line is good. I love it. Yes, yes, Julian. You know Queen G. Yes, Julia is in here dancing up a storm. Mr. Fitness, what you expect me to do? I must work the music, man. Come on. And I want to big up my daughter, Felicia, who is listening in this evening also. Yes, and my friend Joy Lash. Oh, you all on. I'm so happy that you're here with us this evening. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And that is what the kind of music, the kind of voice that will be coming to you guys on another album. I just love the life and rhythm of that album coming out. And so therefore, listen for it. We'll be playing
It's
it right
called
here on Fit FM. Yes, go ahead.
It's called freedom because so many of us are really thinking about after COVID, after government lockdowns, after death, all that. What is freedom and what do we
Yes.
pay to have it? It's important.
Yes, so listen out for Freedom coming out very, very soon. Sometime next month. I'm not telling you anything more. I leave that to Tanya to tell you. That's her business, not mine now. Come on, don't talk people's business here on Healing Moments. Leave it alone. Yes, Tanya. So over back to you. So reggae, health, everything else, and you have been through more. So now I'm going to ask you to use this moment that we have now. Talk to our sisters who are struggling. They need to understand how they need to be resilient. And then talk to some of our brothers who too need to understand resilience. Because guess what? All our brothers are not bad and all our sisters are not good. So we're going to balance it. Yeah.
You know, I think so many men, even really, really fine, fine, gentle men, are afraid of what it means to be weak. And you need to accept weakness in order to be resilient, you
Yeah.
know? I mean, you asked me about Haiti before,
Yeah.
and I visited Haiti before, and then I visited and have a lot of love for the people and the spirit of Haiti as well. And I remember visiting, and the men took it harder, I think, than the women, processing the emotions, all the loss, the bodies that were buried for months under rubble and discovered here and there, trinkets of something, a bicycle. I mean, just horrific moments. I wasn't there, but I've had friends that were there and they relive that, right? It's PTSD, right? But the men, when we talk about resilience, for them, it was like, oh my God, I can't allow myself to feel this because if I do, I don't know myself.
Right.
And that's in a big thing like death in that kind of tragedy. But I think in everyday life, men are like that. So you have a man by your side and you have cancer, and the doctor says your woman who you love and honor has 3 or 6 months to live, and you say, I can't allow myself to feel that. So let's go get some ice cream and let's not talk about it. Don't cry. Be
Yes.
strong. And the only thing you want to do is just cry a little bit and sit quietly. And then sometimes their resilience comes from just doing things, right? And we women have to understand that a man goes out and freaking builds an entire wall because he loves you, not because he's ignoring you. He just can't deal with the pain.
Yes.
And I think though with resilience for women, and I I'm really blessed. You know, the woman I was with saw me on the phone a couple of times today and said, "Why do people with such big problems call you?" And I said, "This, there's no problems that are big. All the problems are the same, whether you're locked out of your car and you call me, or whether you just got beat up by your husband and you call me. Your whole world feels absolutely shifted. And it's my job as your friend to let you find that resilient moment that lets you get your strength back to pack your bag and leave the
Mhm.
man, or
Yes.
to pick up the phone and call somebody that can help you open the door. You
Mhm.
know, it's just, we lose ourselves when we're overwhelmed. And of course, violence and death and those things overwhelm our adrenal system. We're talking medical,
Mhm. Yeah.
overwhelms stress, and it becomes almost like primitive. We're, there are
Mhm.
women who have like very little problems, and you're saying, "Oh, calm down, sister. There's nothing going on in your life. Let me tell you problems."
Yeah.
But that's not right, because
No.
their amygdala, or whatever that's called, in the back
Yeah,
of
the
their brain
medulla. Mhm.
is
Medulla.
experiencing the same kind of stress that you
Mhm.
are
Yeah.
too, right? So
Mhm.
for me, if people who are really really down, I'm not saying that your problems aren't really really bad, but
Yeah.
I'm saying that the solution is not as big as the problem. It's just
True.
not. It's changing, it's pivoting. Imagine an amazing dancer, man. And I love watching everything from classical ballet to West African. At the base of every amazing dance is a pivot where you think the dancer is going to go one way, and darn, the dancer just flips out and goes the other way. They have
Yeah.
the resilience and the strength and the determination to pivot. And
Mhm.
that's what we all find, whether we're a man and we pivot through building something, or running away for a day, or maybe having a little too much rum, to being a woman and just, all kinds of things happen to us. We're just much more, we just we feel more. I mean, I think that's the way the good Lord made us, because we have to bear 9 months of misery and then another like 40 years of raising more misery. But so we're stronger. But man, we break down, and you just have to realize the solution is not big. I always say to people, all you have to do is find something good to eat, find music to dance to, find a friend to hold their hand, um, do something, just be physical, go for a walk. Walking has saved my life. And I'm going to say this seriously. This is not dramatic. Walking has saved Tanya's life when I didn't think I could do it. Walking and talking to the spirits that walk with you. You have got everybody on this phone, male, female. You have got thousands of ancestors that are pushing you to be a better you every single day, pushing you to be healthier, pushing you to be kinder, pushing you to be more successful. And don't ignore them. They're as strong as God, because they're on your side. They brought you to this point, whether they were miserable relatives that you really wish you weren't around, or really kind relatives, or people that you don't know. They are here guiding you, and they don't want you dead or on the ground. They want you climbing the summit again. And I love this. There's a proverb that comes out of Haiti, and it's so Haitian, right? It
Mhm.
is, beyond one mountain is another mountain.
Yes.
And as soon as you understand, lady and gentlemen, that you got to the top and now you're feeling like you're at the bottom and you don't have the strength to get up, you sure as heck do. And when you don't have the strength anymore, I hope you're 99 and a half and you're ready to go home and live with God and your ancestors. Because
Yes.
there's another mountain. There's another mountain. And it's okay to be sad when you fall down the mountain, but there's another one to climb, and you'll feel great when you get to that top. And I'm getting to my top again after a really low year. And I know, Asha, you've been such a friend through it. So I'm here with you, man. I'm here with you. And I have to say this: what you eat energizes you, right?
Oh,
What
yes.
you eat helps. So ladies, instead of getting like and I know how tempting it is, Devon House ice cream when you're feeling really down, you want to go and get some good fruits. You want to get some good herbs. One of the things, and I know Asha knows, I'm behind a company. I'm a spokesperson for a grape seed extract. I was 2 weeks out from getting back surgery. I was depressed. My grandkids who lived with me were feeling very sad that I wasn't myself. So I was going to get the surgery. I took this medicine. It's not medicine, it's food. It's just grape leaves and skin dried and powdered for 3 weeks. And one morning I was kind of crying in the bathroom because I just realized I didn't have to take 10 minutes to get out of bed, wind up in not a very attractive way, and get into the bathroom. And now, oh man, I can dance, take the steps, do everything. And I feel 20 years younger because I'm taking it's called Must Natural, but it's grape seed. I'm taking that and I'm eating better than I have in probably 10 years.
Awesome, awesome. And I can say I have seen since you started using it for real, the difference, the emotional difference and the physical difference, and you get up and go and to take care of those two little thoughts that you have who are full of life, doing so many things. In it is showing on you. And
Thank
just
you. Thank
just
you.
to say to Pauline that is on Facebook, say good evening. Good evening to you, Pauline. And Rose Griffiths just joined us. So our guests, they are listening in, persons are talking, persons are impressed with you.
Thank
And
you.
and persons really are glad that you're on this evening talking about resilience and
For
how
your
we,
anniversary. Yay.
yes, and all that on my anniversary. Awesome. It's a good link up time for us to be here together. So Tanya, I'm gonna dig up a little bit in your business now and talk some people's business on healing moments and talk your business on healing moments. Emotionally, when one has to go through breakup relationships, you have been there, maybe more than once. Who knows? I ain't gonna tell nobody now. You're gonna tell them what you want to tell them, right? So you have been through breaking up of relationships and having to find yourself again. You have lost your way financially and have to get back on that train again. Talk to us.
I will. I love hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been through 4 very beautiful relationships in my life. And the last one is ended. COVID had a lot to do with it, family matters, finances, lots of things. But I will tell you that love never dies. But what you have to remember is that there are parts of relationships that hold you back. There are parts of relationships that hurt more than any love should. I tell everyone that love should feel like someone has your back even if you're wrong. And when that goes away, my friends, you don't have love. You have familiarity.
Yes.
And yeah, and there's times when you know it goes away. It's not just the cheating. I mean, a person who really has your back and will support you through anything, they may cheat, but you will be able to understand why, or you will be able to work through that. But if you really feel like they don't have you 100%, and that they don't represent you even when you're wrong and then help you go right, that's really not. And love is not about, in my opinion, relationships are not about becoming someone else or becoming better or becoming a partnership. Love is about supporting you.
Mm-hmm.
And if the love doesn't support you, why are you supporting the love? And that's the question my friends can't answer 50% of the time when they're crying.
Yes. It's
And man,
true.
I got to tell you, you do miss certain parts of a relationship, wink, wink, that were really
Yeah.
good. But once you clear up the psychology, there's even better beyond the next field. Trust me.
It's true. It's true. It's true. My grandmother used to say, the big fish you caught out of the sea, guess what? Bigger fish is there. You never got the biggest fish. There's always a bigger fish. So don't cry if this one jumped back into the water because this one wasn't meant to stay with you. And if this one's bones are juking you, you need to let it go because holding on to it is going to damage you.
You know, we hate change. And
Oh,
once
yes,
you
we
get
do.
about that and you do things that help you embrace change, you know, get creative, get artistic, believe you're a dance hall queen and start singing and making songs. Get out of the rut. Get out of the fact that you don't want things to change, because everything changes. That is the primary law of nature. Nothing stays the same. So don't hang on to things thinking, man, I wish this is how it was 5 years ago, because it
Mm,
never will be that again.
no,
That's the
no.
law of nature. So change is a part of resilience, grabbing and holding on to it and saying, look, this is a beautiful moment. I know the next one might not be so good, but then there'll be another one that's really great. So just embrace change, because it just rolls with you. It's how you really learn to be joyful in life.
Yes, 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 yes. And that is so true. And when you think of the different things that we go through, the different phases of life, change is the only constant.
Absolutely. And it's what we
And
love.
to be,
It's what we
yes,
love about nature, Asha. We love the
yes,
that the sun rises and sets. We love the fact that our ackee tree gives ackee, then doesn't. But that's nature.
yes. And to be honest, if change was not possible and it wasn't constant, I think I'd be very miserable.
Of course.
Because when you're going through a painful period, if there was no hope beyond, if there was no rainbow, no light to say this too shall pass, we'd be in problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
If the river stops running, it's either going to become stagnated or dried up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And life is like that. Life is like that. And your journey alone will say, yes, yes, yes. Life changes, life move forward. So as we are moving forward, as we are getting to that place of transition, I notice your background is getting dark.
It is. Worried that I'm going to lose power on my phone, and we're getting darker, but let's see how far we get. And
Yeah, so
yeah,
we are coming to gravy now. The food
good.
is cooking down, and we're coming to gravy with you. Don't worry about it. So I'm going to give you this rest of the moment with whatever life you have on your phone and the light you have. Oh yes, I'm seeing you better now. You're in light again. You have found light, and that's what change does. See, you were in darkness, and now you have found light.
Right. You just stand
Light.
up and there's the light.
Yes. So we're speaking our reality and our truth just as we live it. So talk to us a little bit. Tell us what you want us to know. What is coming? When Tanya coming back to Jamaica? What is next?
Well, what's next is
Hmm.
continuing this very large project
Mhm.
that I'm kind of nicknaming, because it came together, Mus Music. It's my whole muscadine grape project about helping people understand that eating is medicine, food is nature, combined with music. It's really an idol. It's really an idol
Yeah.
concept, right? And
Hmm.
so I'm coming back to Kingston July 21st through the 26th. So if
Mhm.
anybody wants to talk to me about these things, happy to meet up. We are having a private listening party for the album, but then we're having a very lovely brunch called Must Music, with music in Hope Garden. So I can do invitations to people through you,
Yeah.
Asha, but I would love to meet people. This journey is only going to grow. I want to be here in Jamaica as much as possible on that journey. Um, Anchor Studio is one of the most creative places I've ever been. I'm leaving here feeling like I took, a sanatorium, like I went to a retreat for my
Yeah.
health, right? To be around such creativity and energy and music. So my future is about helping people uh,
Mhm.
be making it easy to get healthy, whether it's through how we eat and supplements, through music and good messages.
Mhm.
That's what I'm here for. And you did mention I have two Facebooks. Tanya Abreu, Abreu, is my professional page, and but then I have a personal page. But there's no room for new friends. But it's totally public. It's my dad's. It's my dad's last name. It's Kotis,
Yeah.
Kotys. And if you want to give your listeners that, I would love to connect. I can connect through Abreu and then WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Tanya Abreu on WhatsApp too. It would be my pleasure to share this vision and Dr. Asha's vision of health and wellness and energy and music. And dare I sound really hokey and say love?
Awesome. So there you have it. So if you want to link up with Tanya when she comes back in Jamaica on the 21st to the 26th, you contact me here on
Yes.
Healing Moments, and you know how to find me. Link up with me. We will make the connections. It's going to be awesome. We are moving forward in an awesome energy, awesome vision. You hear must music. It's going to happen. It's happening. And we intend to transform lives as we journey together. We intend to be the river that gives to the bank its water as we pass through this life. Tanya,
Amen.
Tanya, it is just so awesome that we were able to do this link up. And of course, say hi to the guys for me. We will continue to link up with them, and then I'll see them again when they get back on the 21st, within that time period.
Yes. Yes.
And say hi to everybody. Tomorrow I'll say goodbye to some of them myself. But it's awesome. It's good to have you on this evening. I'm not gonna let your phone die on you. I'm
Yes.
gonna set you free. But just give the women one more boost of energy before you go.
All I want to say is that resilience is having faith, faith in God and faith in yourself as a reflection of God. Put your hand over your heart when life is most painful. Take a deep breath and you'll hear what you need to do and you'll hear why you need to do it. I send you real love from a place of pain and darkness to a place of beauty, comfort, and light. Thank you, Dr. Asha. You are such a beautiful human being, and I can't wait to see you when I return in a couple of weeks. Thank
Awesome.
you, everyone that
Awesome.
produced this show. I want a
Yeah.
copy, and I
Yeah.
love you. Thank you.
Love you too, my sister. Love you too, my sister. We will talk later. What good, blessed be. And
Uh,
listen to this bit of music as you transition out. Love you, my girl.
bye bye.
You got a friend
Oh, dang.
when you're down and trouble, and you need a helping hand, and nothing, oh, nothing is going right. Tell you what you do, baby. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running.
Yes, yes, yes. So I just had my guest on, Tanya, and you hear her. She is a survivor. She is one that knows how to flip the script and not let life dictate how she journeys. And my sisters and my brothers, that's what life is all about. This evening, I want to make some time to just talk with you, to say to you, what's going on in your life? What go on now? What is it that have you thinking that you can't manage? What is it that have you thinking that I'm going to give up, I can't go? COVID is happening. All these negative things are happening around you and you're feeling hopeless. I am saying to you, it's time to flip the script, man, and get it right, and I'm going to go into my affirmation with you, and I'm going to have this conversation. And funny enough that along the line of our conversation this evening, it just fits right into what I want to talk to you about this evening. I want to say to you, keep ever before you that life carries very few guarantees. And that is true. Life have very few guarantees. So the only guarantee, the only one thing you can be sure of that will never change, will never go away, is the constant love of God, the constant guiding of the divine. That is constant. That is with you all the way through everything. Changes are going to happen. People you love are going to go one way or another, either through death or through changes. And even those who you love who never really leaves, sometimes they're going through their downtime too. And I always say love is like music. Love is like the guitar. The strings will break every now and then. But guess what? The feeling of the music and the rhythm of the music remains forever. And so that is what love is all about. So keep before you that life carries very few guarantees. Be ever mindful that most time the challenges you face are not really about you. I know we like to make everything personal. There are some persons who their life journey is to make your life miserable. But it's not really about you. It's about the brokenness that is in them. Your goodness stirs up the demons in them because they can't stand to be around you. And so therefore, what they are doing, even though when they are doing it to you, it's not really about you. It's about the brokenness that is going on in their lives. Sisters, you have no need to compete with another sister. Because I have learned this thing. It doesn't matter what you do, even if it is like what I do. We know none of us do anything the same way. None of us do anything the same way. Even sometimes when I think of cheating men, and you will say, but what I'm looking for is same sex. No, it's not the same sex. It's not the same. The action might be the same, but the feeling, the emotion, whatever happens in their headspace is different. And every man and every woman bring a different thing together, an energy, and as Julia is saying, different aura. Yes, we bring different things to the table. And so therefore, when their demons rise up against you, it's really not about you. It's about them. And if we learn in this journey of life to look beyond the person and see the thing that is happening around them, see their aura, see what is happening in their lives, sometimes we shake our head and sorry for them. We won't take it personally. I want to say to you this evening, place your trust in the divine. And when you place your trust in the divine, you get now to walk in your power. So you get to walk in your own power and you get to claim your glory. You don't get to share it with anybody else. You own it, you claim it because you're walking in your own strength. You're walking in your own power because you are linking your greatness to the greatness of the divine. You're not looking to another human being to give you that acclamation and glory because you know that you are affirmed in God. And it is good for us to affirm each other. But therefore, you too must learn to find your own affirmation in God. You must learn to go to the mirror, look at yourself, and realize how awesome you are. And let the world know, guess what? It's not about you. Because if you were not around and I'm the only being upon the face of this earth, the sun was going to rise, the rain is going to fall, and everything is going to keep going just because I am. And knowing that it will happen just because you are, and because you are part of God's greatness and you're part of God's answer to the universe, it will help you to remember that you need no one's permission to be great. You were born with greatness within you. You were born awesome. The river that you are flowing as will have forks in the road. There will be boulders in the path. There will be challenges. But guess what? You're going to flow around them. Sometimes your river is going to create a channel and a path where none existed before. And your strength and your power and your greatness is going to cut through those rocks and make a difference to life. So I'm saying to you this evening, as we transition out from healing moments, remember, you need no one's permission to be great because your divine Father who made you with a greatness within you to rise and shine and to be. So as we play our little music and you listen in to us, remember, you are greatness because the divine made you so.
Oh, yes, I will to see you again. Oh, now, baby, winter, spring, summer, or fall. All you got to do is call, and I'll be there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
affirm you this evening. I'm saying to you, you are a chosen vessel that will rise above any circumstances that you are facing. I'm saying to you this evening, stay strong, walk great, because you are loved and you are created to make a difference in this world. You are God's yes to the corner of the globe in which you lay your head. Stay blessed, walk good. From Healing Moments this evening is Dr. Asha Mwendo saying goodbye until we meet again next week. Same time, same place. Bye-bye.
Whoa, what an awesome God. My God, my God is awesome.
Yes, Mr. Fitness, we create our own happiness because it is found in us and in God. Awesome. Bye-bye.
Whoa, my God is awesome. Heals me when I'm broken. Strength where I've been weakened. Forever He will reign. My God is awesome. Savior of the whole world. Giver of salvation. By His stripes I am healed. Whoa. My God is awesome. Today I am forgiven.